What's up, dudes and dudettes to the internet? My name's Scythe, and we are back. Give it to the Trove. Look, everybody's here. How y'all doing today, folks? Hope you're doing fantastically wonderful. Hope this video makes your day even better. Sorry that Trove has kind of been slow lately. I'm gonna do a little bit of an explanation as to why that's happening kind of later in the video, because otherwise we've got some exciting, albeit very, very big changes coming to the game, which incidentally, my last video seems that it was perfect timing, because a lot of the topics that I actually talked about in the last video, we had a kind of a more serious moment there, but it seems that a lot of those issues are actually being addressed, so it's really, really neat. But before we get started with any of that, I want to give a shout out to my man, Ice Ink, or Ice Stink. I think that's how his name is supposed to be. I don't know. But either way, thanks to him, we're going to be giving away a Spring Pinata, a True Fire Phoenix, a Polar Dragon Tiger, and a Punchy Dragon Pop. So if you want to win any of those, you're going to have to like the video, be subscribed, leave a comment in the comment section down below with your username. Winner will be chosen by Scarlet the Spider. Then you catch either myself or Nintendo Gamer in game, or just join our Discord. Links are in the description for that as well. And without further ado, well, you know what? Let's just go to normal old U6. Well, U5, I guess, instead. Just so that we can have people join us in our adventures. By the way, before we get into all the big updates and stuff, I want to give a huge shout out to Mark, who actually bought himself a Gonda. That's insane. Pretty much he was saying how he saved like all, and I mean all of his chaos chests until they were up to like 4K a pop, and then he ended up capitalizing on it and he was able to actually buy himself a Jub. So there you go, folks. That already is proof right there that you can end up getting almost everything so long as you actually have the patience to actually save for it. Now, as far as things that are changing with Trove, a lot of this, of course, is subject to change, but the devs did talk about it in their latest live stream. And although it's very, very drastic and a lot of people aren't going to like it, but honestly speaking, lots of people are going to quit from this one, like really, really badly. But at the same time, it's a pretty good trade-off, I would say. You'll have to excuse me because every time I keep making cuts in the video, I'm coughing because my throat's really dry. But needless to say, they are going to be changing and re-overhauling the Chaos Chest. Thank goodness, because as I said, I was just talking about this in the last video, so it's great that they're actually going to go and relook at them. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be making Chaos Chests untradeable. I know, that's just stupid, right? Like, really, that's just weird, and rip any free-to-play players trying to earn Flux. It's just gone, right? But the trade-off is pretty good for new players. This is terrible for old players like myself, where I'm not gonna be able to make Flux off of anything, or maybe I'll secretly have a method of actually doing it. I don't know. But needless to say, it's gonna make the end game very, very difficult, and the beginning of the game is kind of where this update is focused on, because what you're gonna be getting out of Chaos Chests, also gold Chaos Chests are not going to be tradable either. That's what I've heard. I didn't actually hear the devs say that one specifically, but people said that they did say that later in the stream, so I'm just saying in general, folks. Come on, you laggy, stupid game! But there's going to be a new forging material that you're gonna get out of Chaos Chests. Now, if you don't actually get the item itself, you are going to be able to deconstruct any mounts or any of the items that you get out of a Chaos Chest. You can actually just loot collect those into this new forgeable item, right? And what it's going to do is you're gonna end up using it on a new forge. Like, there's gonna be a new crafting table, right? Why is this dungeon so dark? Like, seriously? I don't even care. I want out of here. Like, this is scaring me. Look at how many dungeons there are in this biome. It's insane. But anyways, you're going to be able to forge all sorts of crazy things. You're going to be able to forge all of the previous mounts from the Chaos Chest. So you're going to be able to actually pick and choose the mounts that you want. And if you ever end up running into a duplicate mount that you get out of a Chaos Chest, you're going to be able to loot collect it and actually turn it into something worthwhile. Now, hopefully, I don't know what the numbers are on any of that stuff, but I'm really, really hoping that it's going to be 1 for 1. That's what it should be, because if you end up getting a Squeakers out of a Chaos Chest, you should be able to deconstruct that for this new forgeable item, and then you should be able to trade that for any of the other Chaos Chest mounts. But I just kind of have the feeling, you know, we know how the Trove devs are. I have the feeling that they're going to end up making it so that it's going to be, you're going to have to deconstruct or loot collect, I mean, a whole bunch of different mounts and items in order to actually get enough of the crafting material. The crafting material is pretty much the equivalent of lunar souls, but let's just call it chaos souls, because I don't really know what the item was called. They did show it in the stream, but I forget what it was, and honestly, who cares? But it's a pretty cool system because you're going to be able to do that for wings as well. And the biggest one of all, this is what everyone's going to be very excited about, classes. You're going to be able to use those chaos souls, let's just call those that for today, just so we don't get confused, but you're going to be able to forge all of the starting classes, which is the starting 8 classes, because for some strange reason they made it so that you can only choose out of 8 different characters for a starting character. Not exactly sure what those characters are. Personally speaking, it's been a million years since I started a new account, but I'll learn that once I go on to the Xbox version of Trove. But I'm just saying that those classes are probably going to be a lot cheaper, because then they have advanced classes, as if this game has any advanced classes. But I'm assuming that those characters are probably just going to end up costing a lot more of the resource. So hopefully it's not going to be something extremely unattainable for new players and is actually something viable. It should be something that endgame players have no problem getting, and should be something that starting players have to play the game for a couple weeks, I would say, for a class. You know, that generally speaking is good enough to keep people incentivized as to keep playing video games and stuff like that. I mean, look at League of Legends and stuff. You can grind up your characters in like a week, and it's just, I'm just saying, it's very, very exciting that they're actually going to be doing something like that, because seriously, up until this point, I mean, better late than never, I guess, but it's kind of the same thing that they ended up doing with the level 30 experience. So if you don't already know, folks, they ended up lowering the total amount of experience that you're going to need on a character to get max level in this game. They did that way too late. Like, after 50% of the gaming community for Trove ended up quitting, they've already, like, now they did it. And now, again, it's the same thing where it's like, people just kept complaining, wanted classes to be attainable for a free method, and now they come up with this garbage method instead, just the qubit method, which was, back in the day, you could actually buy classes for qubits, which way too long. It took them way too long to end up doing this. Now, that said, I'm not trying to get all on the side project of that or talk about all that as a negative method, but it's very, very exciting that they are actually doing something like this. We'll see what ends up happening. And also, I do want to mention this in passing, but the mini games, you know, the coin mini game that's going to end up replacing the dragon challenges, we're going to see what's going to happen, because they are actually no longer on the test server anymore. I'm assuming that they're getting reworked because they were so broken, like seriously. And also, the other thing that I really hope that they're reworking, but I wouldn't put it past the devs to not change that at all, but the rewards that you were actually getting out of the mini games was just the exact same items that you get out of the Dragon Challenge. So naturally, I'm just assuming that that was subject to change and they're going to swap that out before it goes live, because otherwise, I mean, then they're just swapping the Dragon Challenges for something that's going to take more time than the Dragon Challenges, and it's just not really a good trade-off. But that is pretty much all the exciting things that are going on with Trove. Now, the other exciting things is life stuff. If you haven't kept up with my recent vlog video, I did talk about this, but you know Scarlet the Spider? If you didn't already know, because people always ask me, but Scarlet the Spider has actually always been my fiance. Like, we're engaged, we've been together for years, but it's been an online relationship, right? Like, long distance. And she's actually here right now, behind me as I'm recording this, so very, very exciting, but because of it, you know, we're trying to get our schedules used to each other now that we're actually, like, living together, so very, very excited about it, but it means that some videos may take a little while before they end up showing up, and I'm just saying, generally speaking, everybody, that because of it, been extremely busy. Not to mention, I also mentioned this in my vlog video as well, you can get all the details on that, but I've been in the process of upgrading my computer, because if you didn't know, a while back, a lot of parts of my computer ended up dead. My hard drives died, and then one of my video cards died, so you know, I took advantage of the Cyber Monday deals, and I got myself a better hard drive. Right now I'm using a solid solid state drive, which is like a super duper fast one. And then I also have some new video cards coming in the mail. You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see any change in the series quality or anything like that, because thankfully, even with my computer parts right now, I can still keep the same level of quality, 1080p, 60 frames and stuff like that. But for my own quality of living, it's gonna make a huge difference, because for the longest time, I have had a very, very difficult time catching up with my own recording schedule, because I'm still recording the videos at the same quality that I want the videos at, but my computer is not really up to code. Now, that is why this upgrade that is coming in the mail should make a big difference for myself and help me to alleviate a little bit of my work as a YouTuber, because I've been having a very tough time keeping up with my own upload schedule and stuff because of all of the rendering time and stuff like that. And that is what's going to be like take the hugest impact, is once I get the video cards combined with this new hard drive that I'm running right now. It's gonna make a huge difference for myself personally, and hopefully we're not gonna see any more dips within like the Trove series or anything. By the way, I want to say thanks to everybody that's hanging out with us today. I'm not even in Do Not Disturb, and nobody is spam inviting me, which is very, 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 very cool, because it means that we actually get to see all of you fine, beautiful people in the videos again, because otherwise when people spam invite me, it doesn't happen. We can't do it anymore, you know? But either way, that's all the time that we have for today, everybody. I got lots and lots of videos to catch up on. I just wanted to let you all know about all this stuff. Oh, and there's also going to be, speaking of which, remember in the last video how I mentioned that there's tons and tons of different costumes that are already in the game's code? They are actually going to be adding those to the craftables with those new Chaos Souls. So you're going to be able to craft a whole bunch of the costumes that already are in the game's code, but lazily they're not gonna have any video effects, which, I mean, that's the trade-off. I guess that's okay, because I'd rather just have the costume, and honestly, who cares? So whatever. But either way, it's a pretty cool method. I kind of like it. I think that it's gonna be really, really good for new players. Gonna be absolutely terrible for somebody like myself who's at the end game. But let me know what you all think about that in the comments below, everybody. You know, do you hate it? Do you think that it's a great decision? What do you think about it? I'd be very interested to know, and then we can talk about that in the future. But either way, thanks for watching, everybody. Very much appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sayonara, and stay epic, everybody.